Hi guys, welcome to the Facebook Live for Urban Local Pubs. I'm going to start in a minute or so, just get everyone on to the session. Give it another minute, then we'll start. People can sort of join on when needed. So right guys, we're going to start now, and anyone who needs to join, I'm recording this as well, so we'll crack on. A nice little Christmassy intro there for us. Just want to go through what we're going to do on the session. I'm going to do a bit about the Christmas specs for the fair and for the Christmas day. A bit about meat, how we're carving the meat, how we're delivering and regenerating it. A bit about the roast potatoes and the veg. Stock process over Christmas. A bit about vegan options. Obviously, there's a vegan option on each of the menus now. A bit about building up the stock on the order process. A bit about Christmas Day pre-order and nailing the large tables. What's the key for us for Christmas? Obviously, try and ensure that it's the biggest and best Christmas ever. And from my point of view, is that a lot of this will be driven from the kitchen, and food is absolutely key to this. So I'm going to run through the festive fair specs. So those who have been in locals last year, the pubs urban, or you come from another pub and gone into the urban segment, just going to run through these, but you get these all sent to you anyway. So these are the starters, mains, and desserts. So starter-wise, is Stilton peppercorn mushrooms. Really easy one to do. It's on the menu previously. For speed of service, would have all your peppercorn sauces ready to go in a bain-marie. So you can just cut open and just pour over top. Everything with Christmas, guys, really important that we do the finishing touches. So we are making sure we're putting the lamb's lettuce on top and crumbling the Stilton over the top. Chicken liver pate, again, a really easy one to do. That's the chicken and herb pate, already pre-sliced for you in a packet. Again, really easy for speed of service. You can pre-do this as well. If you've got a party and they have 15 amounts of pate, put them on a plate in your fridge if you have space. It's a really quick and easy one to do. Maple, also a vegan option. So a vegan option will be just removing the butter cogs from the bread. Again, a pouch in the bag and into the water or in the microwave. Prawn cocktail, again, a real classic for Christmas. The real key one for this is making sure you have the correct amount of prawns on the dish. So this is 65 of the frosted cold water prawns. Really key here is giving out the right amount, so you're not giving out too much, you're not giving out not enough. So it's just about consistency for the guests. So we talk about specs quite a lot, but if you're doing 20 prawn cocktails for a party and they're all different sizes, this is all about consistency for the customer. So this is your festive pie. We've done this last year and you would have already started this. This is a turkey stuffing cranberry festive pie, like served with sprouts, mashed potato and carrots. So again, really important that we just nail this. So we're not making the pastry really hard and exploding as well. Classic festive fare is the traditional Christmas dinner, turkey for all the trimmings. So it's 150 grams of the turkey, one of the turkey gravies, one pig and blanket, 40 grams of stuffing, and one of your Yorkshire puddings. I'll go through the potato options and the veg options on the next page. So for Christmas veg and potatoes, it's 90 grams of sprouts, 90 grams of roast parsnips, 90 grams of sliced carrots, and 200 grams of your roast potatoes. So it's really important that you follow that as your guideline. Fish dish for your festive fare for urban is the salmon risotto. one of your salmon on top, but the risotto base, that's mixed with honey roasted parsnips and carrots. Again, make sure that we mix. Festive burger, we've done this last year, so that's with the cranberry sauce and the crocs and manna brie, and that's served with the dirty fries on the side, so that's with stuffing and pig and blanket. Vegetarian option, this is the butternut squash, sweet potato and mature cheddar cashew nut roast. Again, that's served with your festive veg and potatoes, and that's served with veg and gluten-free gravy. The other option is the roast sirloin of beef, one pig and blanket served with that, and again your Christmas fare, but it's really important that we're making sure we're resting the joint as well before carving. So on to the Christmas puddings. This comes in a pack, and you get 10 portions out of a pack, so you get 10 slices out of a pack and 5 portions out of a pack, sorry. That is served with brandy sauce, but again, if the customer wants custard, we can put that on as well. Next one is the warm. Overdoing that, so it's only 20 seconds from defrost in the microwave. Next one, festive crumble. Going through this is obviously into a bowl. You can microwave and just finishing it off under the grill as well. Just get a bit of colour on it. So that's your brownlee, apple, and mince mix for the filling. Just your crumble mix on top. Again, that's served with custard. Vanilla cheesecake and limoncello coulis. So this is your gluten-free cheesecake. On top is the limoncello coulis, same as last year. So that's 25 grams. It's really important that we finish it off with the raspberries and the sprig of mint and icing sugar. And that's served with ice cream. And the option as well for festive fare is your cheese and biscuit. So blue Stilton 40 grams, crocs and manna brie 40 grams, and the cheddar 40 grams as well. Obviously that's served with butter, red onion chutney, grapes, and the selection of biscuits. I'm going to run through Christmas Day as well for you. These are the starters, mains, and desserts. So for your starters, it's the prosciutto bruschetta. That's served on top with a horseradish mayo. Again, that's already pre-made for you. Sliced on top is the extra large gherkins, but it's really important that we just get the layering on this right and try and build up as much height as we can to really emphasize the dish. And that's finished with some chives on the top. Your soup option is a spiced parsnip soup, and that's got a swirl of double cream in as well. It's really important that we do the finishing touches on Christmas Day, as it obviously is a really, really important day for families and people that come in to eat with us. Prawn cocktail, which has a slight elevation for Christmas Day, smoked salmon and prawns. Again, making sure we really nail the amounts of prawns and smoked salmon for each dish, making consistent for each customer. So 60 grams of smoked salmon, 50 grams of cold water prawns. That's served on the top with 50 grams of the cocktail sauce. Excuse me. Make sure this one we can pre-do these in the fridge. So you know for Christmas Day you've got X amount going out of the fridge at out of the kitchen at 1 o'clock. You can plate up certain amounts in the fridge ready to go to help speed up service. So your chicken, smoked ham, hock, and apricot terrine. So this is a terrine sliced into 8. Again, really easy one to do and really good for pre-portioning. Get this all prepared, ready for Christmas Day. If you've got the space to do that, again, put it into the fridge, ready to go for the larger tables. So the main one for Christmas Day is the traditional hand-carved turkey. So that is 170 grams of the turkey, 1 of the turkey gravy pouches, 1 pig and blanket, 40 grams, and 1 of the Christmas Day veg. This will be different to your festive fare veg, but I will go through that in the next slide. So your Christmas Day veg will be broccoli 70 grams, Brussels sprouts 70 grams, 1 of the dauphinoise potatoes, 70 grams of the honey roast parsnips, 70 grams of the sliced carrots, and 150 grams of the roast potatoes. So that will be across each of the dishes that have the Christmas Day veg option on the spec. So it's really important that we follow that. The fillet of salmon with prawn, obviously that's served with what we've discussed in terms of the veg and the potatoes. On here is the one salmon fillet with 50 grams of cold water prawns, and that is served with a champagne hollandaise sauce. So next one would be the butternut squash, sweet potato, mature cheddar, cashew nut roast. This is slightly different. Proximana brie and onion chutney. Again, that is served with the veg and gluten-free gravy. The boneless beef bourguignon, again served with your Christmas Day veg and potatoes, but you've got the boneless beef bourguignon that comes in a pouch, and you can do that in the pasta boiler or in the bain marie or whatever you have. But obviously Christmas Day, you'll know how many you have of those, so it's important that you defrost the correct amount and maybe have 1 or 2 spares just in case something happens to the bag. But have those ready for service and ready to go to put straight onto the plate. Classic dessert for Christmas Day, Christmas pudding. Again, same portion as it was for festive fare, but it's really important that for this one we do finish it off with the red currants. Just really give it a bit of an extra elevation, a bit of a wow for Christmas Day. And that's served with the clotted cream and jamboree sauce. Cheese and biscuits for Christmas Day are very similar to the one festive fare, so the 40 grams of Stilton brie and mature cheddar. Vanilla cheesecake with forest fruits and sloe gin compote. Again, that is one of the cheesecakes that we use in the festive fare, but the top is just slightly different. So it's the forest fruit and sloe gin compote on that one. Next one is the Irish cream profiterole. So you get 5 of these in a portion, and you have some cream to hold it in the middle. So just make sure you get that laying right, and put in the shortbread fingers crumbled over the top, chocolate sauce, and obviously your dusting of icing sugar and your sprig of mint. Belgian chocolate bundt cake, again in the microwave for 30 seconds, but make sure you don't overdo it or it will just disintegrate. Again, with making sure you are doing the toppings on this, so the chocolate sauce, the mint, and the icing sugar, and that's served with a scoop of ice cream. So just going to go through obviously how we get these dishes out of the kitchen to the highest quality, and for what makes it easier for you guys in the kitchen of those delivering the food. So same as last year, we've got 2 different sizes of turkeys available. One is a 175 and one is a 3.5 kilogram turkey. So what I would be using for these smaller one, guys, is at the start of your festive time. So you've got small parties, just ordering the small ones because they're quicker to defrost, and also they're smaller as well, so you're going to get less wastage. For your larger parties and for Christmas Day, by all means, get the bigger turkeys, the 3.5 kilograms, because you're going to go through that. But it's just trying to use the right amount for what you've got. So start of the festive period, really go for the small ones, and for your bigger days, and you're going to sell it through, go for the large ones. Really important, you defrost in the fridge, and once defrosted, just slice cold on a yellow board using a sharp yellow handle knife. So regenerating the turkey, this is always one that causes a bit of a sticking point, because dried up turkey is one of the major complaints this meal. So there's a few ways of doing it depending on your equipment and the size you have in the kitchen. So the best way is portioning it up and covering it in with a thin layer of gravy. Put it in a gastro tray. Say if you've got a party of 10 or 12, put it in a gastro tray, cling film and foil, then put it in the oven. Really important that you put that thin layer of gravy over the top, so it stops it from drying out. Well, if you don't have oven facilities, or you're doing it on a smaller scale, you've got the Merry Chef you can use. Same process, put it on a tray, thin layer of gravy, put some foil on, and in the Merry Chef 75% power of a minute and a half. And same for your really small parties, maybe at the start of the festive period, if you've got a couple of tables coming in on a Monday lunchtime or Tuesday lunchtime, put it in a deli pot, cover it with some gravy, cling film in the microwave or on a prep pot lid. Again, just making sure it's getting covered so we're not drying out the turkey. So roast potatoes, so there's two options. Those that are currently doing the fresh potatoes, carry on what you're doing. So steaming, part boiling, making sure they're fluffed up and ready to go into the oven. Once they're dried, or to just season goose fat as your brand spec onto the roasting tray, and obviously keep turning halfway through. Keep them hot in a hot drawer, but try not to hot hold them for too long. And for the majority of you, you'll be doing the frozen roast potatoes, the McCain one. So the key for these are preheating the oven, preheating the tray, but preheating the oil as well. So making sure when you put the potatoes in the tray, the oil is, the goose fat is hot, sorry, and making sure they get coated all the way across. Again, you need to, after 25 minutes or so, depending on your equipment, you need to change and just move around the oil and scrape off any remaining oil over the potatoes. For vegetables, we always have lots of complaints about veg over Christmas. We either go one or two ways, really rough with no colour and no flavour. So veg goes on every dish, and it's a real major part of the Christmas meal. So veg that's going underground, you start the cooking process in cold water. Veg from above the ground, you go straight into a boiling water or preheated steamer. The key part to the veg is if you are cooking it previously to heat up, you need to cool it down, refresh it as soon as possible. So put straight into the ice cold water, and that really locks in the colour and the flavour. Obviously, after you do this, you need to remove all the excess water in a colander and drain off before covering. Pre-portioning veg, really good tip for consistency for food quality, but also speed of service. So if you've got small parties, can you pre-portion into deli pots with the correct amount? But also for the larger tables, especially for Christmas Day, can you do family serve veg? So getting a one dish cling film, and you can put it into the microwave for 2 minutes, put the name of the party and how many it's for. Really easy for the guys in the kitchen to do, and also easy for the servers because they can put it straight onto the table and the guests can help themselves. Just speeds up in terms of for Christmas Day, really speeds up the guys plating up in the kitchen on the pass. If they don't have to put 3 or 4 different veg on the plate, it's sort of 1, speed of service, 2, it cools down really quick with the veg. So if we can do it this way for the larger tables, it really will help you. Again, reheating the veg, making sure this is sort of the last thing we do before putting on the plate, then the gravy. We've got to make sure it's steaming hot because a lot of the veg loses its heat very quickly, as discussed before. So we're making sure it's really hot before getting onto the plate and serving out the kitchen. Yorkshire puddings, obviously just making sure you're following your guidelines for these. Make it in advance, freeze them down if you know you've got time on a Wednesday, freeze them down, ready for the party nights on a Friday and Saturday. Or for Christmas Day, doing them a couple of days before, freezing them down the amount you need. For those using the frozen Yorkshire puddings, obviously just making sure reheating into the oven, but no longer than for 3 minutes or so, just to warm them through. Leave them there for too long, they'll go really hard and crispy. And stuffing and pigs and blankets, again, my big tip for this would be just pre-staging this as much as you can, especially for your larger parties. So pre-cooking the amount of pigs and blankets you're going to need and the stuffing amount will really speed up your speed of service as well. Once you're organized, that will make it a lot easier for the guys in the kitchen, so they don't have to keep cooking things to order. It will slow down massively if you do it that way. The gravy, again, this is the last thing that goes on the meal, so you need to make sure it's hot and of a good standard, so make it to your brand spec. But what we don't need to see is you hot holding it for more than 2 hours. Cook little and often, make sure it's fresh and safe. So I don't want to see pans of gravy that have been on the stove for 7 and 8 hours. One, the quality goes down and it's not very safe. So part of the HACCP is if it falls below 63 degrees, we need to discard it. So guys, make sure the gravy is hot going onto the plates and we're not hot holding it for too long and cooking little and often. So for preparing for large pies, as discussed earlier, for Christmas Day, for turkey, you'd be covering, I would do this in a gastro tray. So if you know you've got 40 people having turkey, slice it up into portions, lay it in a gastro tray, cover in cling film, cover in gravy, then cling film, then foil. Put the name on how many's on it or how many's in the party. And it's really easy for when that table comes out or that table's called, literally is in the oven or in the steamer, ready to go. Really easy for that one. We mentioned vegan quite a lot, and obviously it's a growing market. And in terms of Christmas, vegan customers, if they're in a family of 4 and there's one vegan, if we have got options for vegans on the menu, they're more likely to dine with us than somewhere that doesn't offer it. So each of these dishes are available on every Christmas menu for festive fare and for Christmas Day. So as discussed, it's a maple flavoured root vegetable soup with no butter. The beetroot, sweet potato and butternut squash tart, that is on acquire as a rainbow vegan tart. And the dessert would be a chocolate and cherry torte with vegan ice cream. There is an alternative as well for Christmas Day, which is Prosecco sorbet instead of mince pies. And these are the specs for the vegan dishes, but again, I'll send these out, but we've just gone through those. The butternut and the beetroot sweet potato butternut squash tart, or the rainbow tart, that is served with a Napolitan sauce. Again, vegan option. Really important that we do that option. So festive food ordering guide and when it's available. So your festive food is available to order. I sent out some templates last Friday, but I'll send it out later today with the presentation of this, some specs and the video as well. I'm going to talk through a bit about the Christmas calculator in a second and the SurveyMonkey that will be used for Christmas Day pre-orders. So for those that haven't been or new to Greene King or new to your pub, a Christmas calculator, we're doing one for each brand. So I would, for the kitchen guys that are on, I would really make sure you're getting behind this and using it. It will make your life so much easier. Simply what you do, you put in how many turkeys you've got for that week or how many you've got for the weekend, and it will break down into how much turkey you need out, how many potatoes, how many sprouts, how many portions of prawns you need. One is really good for what you've got to get out for defrost and a prep list, but also really important for ordering and what you need to order coming in for the next week or so. So I'd really get behind this and use this. It will really give you that extra time you need to be doing other things in the kitchen, basically. So food delivery schedule. I'd really emphasize that when you get this deck of slides that you print this off and put it in the office or in the kitchen, that everyone is aware of the delivery schedule for Christmas, for the Christmas period. So for the yellows and the reds is where we're having some change. So the main ones that we're having are, we're not going to have any deliveries on Christmas Day or Boxing Day, and also on New Year's Day. So it's important that when you are doing your deliveries and you're ordering, that you are taking that into account. If you normally have a delivery on a Tuesday, that won't be turning up until the Thursday. So again, guys, really make sure that you print this off and follow this guide. It will make sure that you're not running out of food, or you're expecting delivery on a day that it's not turning up. So Christmas Day, Boxing Day and New Year's Eve pre-orders, same as last year for SurveyMonkey. Christmas Day, that needs to be submitted by Thursday the 22nd of November. Again, that will be in action on the vault as well. But as saying, the menu is the same as last year, so it's really important that you look in your freezers what you've got, and in your dry stores, if you've got certain products that you still got, you may not need to order. It's really important that you're looking at what you've already got, but also looking at your pre-orders and what you've got already booked in for Christmas Day before placing your Christmas Day pre-order. But that goes on a bit about stock building over the Christmas period. As said, obviously these menus are the same as last year, so you need to make sure that you have got certain items still in the freezer, that you're not ordering another box of hollandaise, champagne hollandaise sauce. See what you've got in terms of crockery and consumables. If you know you're going to be short on Christmas Day, building it up slowly, maybe trying to do it every couple of weeks, every 3 weeks, just adding a little bit here and there if you can. But the biggest tip I'd give is not to panic order the first week of the festival. Number of sites ordering 30 boxes of turkey or X amount of a certain product, thinking they'll have that for the remainder of the 6 weeks of the Christmas period. What that does is that really puts the supply chain out of kilter. So we're not expecting everyone to panic order that first week. So then that happens, we have our out of stocks the week after, then people panic order again. So it's a bit of a vicious circle. So it's really important that we're just building up slowly and ordering little and often. Stock taking process for Christmas period. Again, this is one I'd print off and put in the office, making sure that you're not doing a stock when you don't need to be. You're doing something you don't need to be. For week 34, that's a normal stock. So that's the 17th to the 23rd. So you're doing a stock normally on the 17th of December. For the Christmas week, so that's week beginning the 24th of December, Christmas Eve, you're not doing a stock on Christmas Eve. You're doing it on either Thursday the 27th or Friday the 28th. So it's really important that you are not doing a stock on Christmas Eve. The following week, week beginning New Year's Eve, there is no stock required on Christmas Eve, so you're not doing a stock at all that week. So your first stock of the new year will be Monday the 7th of January, so that will be a 2-week stock. So just to clarify, guys, you're not doing a stock on Christmas Eve, you're doing it on the 27th and 28th. You're not doing a stock at all on week 36, so over New Year's. And your first stock will be a 2-week stock on Monday the 7th of January. So there will be, for those that are new to business, want to do some Christmas cook-off, there is the option that, and I am putting a couple of buttons on the till, which I will send out. But it'll just be going through cooking off your main turkey dishes. This is going through the veg, the potatoes, if your staff need to try it. But for a lot of you, you've already gone through this process last year, so there's not a great need for it. What I would say, you have got a guide in your in-house, in your Christmas handbook, that you've got your Christmas Roadshow, so please use that. And just finally, before going, just want to wrap up a bit about Christmas. Really important for Christmas is about organisation for me. So making sure that for the larger parties, you're pre-portioning as much as you can in trays and labelling it up. Same goes with the veg. You've got into portion pots that you need, or family served dishes. You've got the right amount of sauces ready to go in your bain-marie with a couple spares in case something happens. Please use the Christmas calculator. It will really make ordering, defrost and prep so much easier for you in the kitchen. And following the delivery process and the ordering process, just order little and often. So we often get a lot of residual stock on the first 2 weeks of Christmas, especially turkey, because people have gone overboard with the ordering. But it's really important that we nail the first dishes coming out the kitchen. So for those who've done it before last year, you know the specs really well. But for those that haven't done it, just get yourself accustomed to the specs, making sure those first few dishes coming out the kitchen are nailed, and it carries on throughout the festive period. Because those dining with us in the first week of the festive fair may not know what we're doing for a family meal in December, or a works party, or Christmas Day. So if you impress them on the first time they come, they're more likely to book again in the festive time. So it's really important. Again, I'll send all the details out after the final presentation today with the video and the slides. But if you've got any further questions, just put them in the Facebook below, and thanks for your time.